What is up, everyone? Socrates101 here, and today I'm recording this part for the second time because yesterday I was at Butthead and I accidentally didn't have my mic on, so now I have to do it again. And this team is going to be something I just built because I wanted it to build and work. I wanted to build something around Mega Alakazam because it kind of destroys balance. But I also figure, you know what, let's run balance with it. So this is going to be a balanced Mega Alakazam team, and so the Alakazam you're going to see is this is the Mega variant. I used the regular one with the Magic Guard. It's easier. It doesn't even matter. You could put Mega Alakazam here and then put an ability Magic Guard. Doesn't matter at all. But Psychic, Dazzling Gleam, Focus Blast is my move of coverage, as Dazzling Gleam is mainly there to hit like dark types, and dragons, mainly dragons actually. Yeah, you could put HP Ice, but I do think that Dazzling Gleam is going to be more effective in that spot. I had more success with this than I had with Shadow Ball. You could put Shadow Ball if you'd like, but I prefer Dazzling Gleam. It's no real reason, but it works with the rest of the team. So this is our Mega Zam set. A lot of things that actually will outspeed are things that run speed boost, like the Sharpedo, like the Scolipede. If you predict a switch, if you all that good stuff, really, all that stuff that allows you to set up a substitute, you can do that, because Alakazam often makes people think that you're running a Focus Sash spread, a Focus Sash set, but then out of nowhere you just pull out the Alakazam and you get a substitute, and Modest Alakazam after substitute almost hits like 500 special attack, so that's nothing to mess with. I do think it has like base 175 special attack, which is ridiculous. I do think it's like 493, not sure at the top of my head, but this what I'm going with is this thing hits like a fucking truck. So that's going to be our Alakazam, and then I really wanted something that is defensive core, and I wanted something that is hazard stack as well. Because if you've seen my NU videos, you do know that hazard stack is like one of my favorite things to do ever. And I figured, you know what, let's go with a nice defensive core that gets stuff ranks and spikes and has some nice coverage, because Chestnut is like weak to flying, Ice, Fire, a Psychic, all four of which Heatran does actually, and Fairy, all five of which Heatran actually does resist. So this is actually a nice defensive core. The only thing it kind of struggles with, as you can see, is Zoomrill, because Chestnut does not appreciate play-ups, Heatran does not appreciate waterfalls. So that's something this team in general just kind of struggles with. I haven't had the most issues with the Zoomrill in general. As I can whittle it down, but Zoomrill does actually pose some problems, especially when the opponent decides to keep it really healthy. But as I said, we're gonna go with the Spike set, and then we have Drain Punch, because it's apparently the move to run on Chestnut right now. I'm a bigger fan of Woodhammer, but Drain Punch works better for this team. Go with Leech Seed and Spiky Shield. The EV spread is kind of janky, a bit weird, but we are running this because this team doesn't mind to deal with weather, but doesn't particularly like it, and this allows Chestnut to outspeed 0 speed EVs Politoed, so that's kind of why I went with this. And then we maximize our bulk, and we put the remainder in defense, and we go with an Impish Nature. There we go, Impish Nature. I always mess up the natures because I only put in the plus and the minus signs, and I never had to breed, but so that's actually why I have a disadvantage with that thing. However, this is our nice and standard Chestnut set. It has bulletproof because it's a hard counter to Fairy Thorns, etc. So next off we have our Heatran. Heatran is going to be Spidefmon. We run a bit of speed actually, in order to outspeed other Heatrans, but our moveset is obviously going to be Stuff Rocks, Lava Plume, and then we have Toxic, and the last move is Taunt. Taunt is basically there to just shut down certain walls. Speed is either to outspeed 0 speed Heatrons, which no one ever uses, and to outspeed, speed creeping, scissors, and mega scissors. So usually the bulky scissor variant does not run any speed, but maybe they run a tiny bit of speed to outspeed your base 77, because mega scissors base 75 speed, and as soon as they just go over the 190 mark, we are just going to speed creep a tiny bit right there. So that's just going to work out beautiful. We're just going to go with the calm nature, 252, and all of that. We put the remaining in HP. So Heatran is one of my favorite mons to use. I prefer the Magma Storm set, but on this team, and especially in combination with Chestnut, it just does a lot of damage to the world, really. So our next mon is, since our team doesn't really like hazards as well, since it's balanced, and we have a lot of things that are quite weak to hazards, or at least are grounded. So we take a lot of damage from other hazard stacking teams. We want a very reliable spinner, and this also completes our grass, fire, water core. Water, fire, grass core is usually the way I say it, but I just said it in order right here. Which is going to be Starmie. This Starmie is the cheeky set with the reflect type mono attacking Scald. Reflect type Starmie actually beats Ferrothorn 1-on-1, which is just phenomenal, something you'll like. It can also probably beat Bishart 1-on-1 if it's not running low kick. And so Starmie is really there to stay. Even though we do have Chestnut, which is like a hard counter to Bishart, but Starmie does not like getting pursuit trapped. Scald reflect type, and then we obviously have the rapid spin, and since we want to beat the Ferrothorn 1-on-1, we kind of have to run recover. So we're not going to go with this. We want to outspeed Superior. We want to be bulky, and then the remaining stuff is gonna go into Spadef. No idea why this is actually standard spread on Smogon, and I figured, you know what, let's just go with that. You can get the minus attack, because rapid spin, the base 20 rapid spin move is not gonna do any much more when you're not running minus attack. So that's why we're doing that. That's why we are running timid. And this allows you to outspeed. I do think that's superior. You do outspeed superior with this particular spread. Yup, that's the thing. So this is our spinner. Like, basically Starmie's only job is to get rid of hazards on our side of the field, and that's really kind of it. And reflect type is a nice and cheeky move. Like, you could fish for some burns. This team is actually quite a lot fishing for burns. It has the Lava Blue on the Heatran, it has Scald and Starmie, so you're fishing a lot for burns. Our next mon is going to be a Scarfer. I don't even have to check anymore. Our next mon is going to be Scarfer, which is going to be Tyranitar. This team, everything up until here gets one-shotted by Latios. I don't have switch-ins. Heatran dies to Earthquake. Starmie doesn't like taking. Oh, my dog is actually sleeping, so if you can hear that, I'm sorry for that. It's snoring. So Starmie doesn't like taking Draco. Chestnut doesn't like taking anything apart from the Earthquake. So that's why we're gonna go with Choice Scarf T-Tar as our trapper, and so we're just gonna go with the nice and standard spread. Four attacks, no special, no Ice Beam. Maybe you could run Ice Beam over this, but I figured Earthquake would be more beneficial. So Crunch, we got Pursuit, we got the Stone Edge for the dual stab, and then we're running Earthquake. But you could very well run Ice Beam over this. You want to run the Jolly set, because otherwise you get outsped by everything that's base 110. So you kind of have to run this guy. And yeah, Crunch, Pursuit, Stone. Do I need to explain a whole lot? This T-Tar is nice and standard, but it's really good. What does T-Tar's shiny spread look like? Oh my god, no thank you. And our last mon is something that also could switch in on things, and also that I wanted something offensive. Maybe this is why you could also put Ice Beam on T-Tar, because we are running a Landorus-T. We're not running the defensive set, and we're not running the Choice Scarf set, so we are actually running offensive Earthblade set, which is usually Uber's variant, but this is actually quite fitting for my team. I decided to go with the Smackdown variant because this team doesn't have anything that does a whole lot to the what's it called? I see its picture in my Rotom Wash. So as soon as you can predict the Rotom Wash switch in on this guy, you can just go for Smackdown and then smack the Rotom Wash with the Earthquake afterwards. So we have knockoff, and then we have U-turn. This is also your secondary Talonflame check, as Heatran is your first. And so that's that in general is just pretty nice if you ask me. We're just gonna go with max attack. This team hits really hard. It's actually nice balance. You have to Water Fire Grass Core. You have a Mega Alakazam which hits like a truck, and it's the fastest thing around with 150 base speed. It outspeeds like almost everything. So it's pretty phenomenal mon to have. That's why you don't even need to run, because you outspeed almost everything anyway with even a modest nature. So that's why we're going for the hard hitter thingies. The only thing that outspeed us are like Mega Manectric and Mega Lopunny, which are quite common. Mega Manectric is not all that common, but Mega Lopunny. But I do have a pseudo switch in being Landorus-T. I do have a Chestnut, which you can kind of take it on and then reliably recover with the Leech Seed Protect shenanigans. So we're looking alright. I'm not afraid of Mega Lopunny at all. So, but just to complete this set, just to complete my my elaboration, we're just gonna go with the obvious Jolly Nature, and this spreads is mainly because well, this allows you to outspeed Adam and Charizard or just modest Charizard before it sets up a Dragonon's being Zard X. That's why we're running this. Usually you run this Choice Scarf variant, and that still allows you to outspeed Adamant +1 Megazord, but I just decided to go with the exact same spread as the Choice Scarf variant should be, but then just with an Earthblade variant. So this gun actually has boosted Earthquake, so it even hits harder than the Choice Scarf variant. On Smackdown allows you to hit everything with an Earthquake, really. Knockoff there just to get rid of items, because if it gets knockoff, it runs knockoff. You understand the drill. If you've been watching my channel for a bit, then you should know that everything that gets knockoff runs knockoff. That's the rule in Auras right now. I'm not sure if I'm happy with it, but apparently it's a thing. And items do not play as big as a role as they used to. And the last move obviously is U-turn if Landorus-T. If I predict a switch into something and Landorus-T cannot really deal with that, I can just go into my T-Tar, I can go into my Mega Alakazam, or I can go into one of my walls and try and set up some hazards in their face. So that was a team. Hope you enjoyed, and I will see you guys in actually probably part 1 of this. This is more than likely going to go up on Tuesday, then part 1 on Wednesday, then team building 1 on with the VPR on Thursday, and then my match on Friday. No idea how it's gonna work out. Maybe this is going to be up on Tuesday, maybe it's gonna go up on Monday. I have no idea just yet, but what I do know is that I'd like to see you in my next video. Peace.